are multiple ways to get into your Lumio account, which is the Smart Learning Suite Online. That's called Lumio now. One way to get started is actually by going to your Google Drive. So here I am in my Google Drive. And I'm going to go to New. And then I'm going to go to More. And scroll down a little bit to see Lumio by Smart. I'm going to click on Lumio. It's going to do its thing. It might ask you to log in. Usually it asks you to do that just the first time. Make sure you click Teacher Sign In. It should pick up your RCSD 121 account because we're logging in with from the drive. So just go ahead and click on it. And then you are going to get into your Smart Learning Suite or Lumio account. Now there is another way to do the same thing. Let me just show you how to do that. I'm going to log off here, sign out, just so I can show you. If you open a new tab or a new window and paste in this link, suite.smarttech/prod.com, that will also get you into the Lumio account. Here, make sure you click Teacher Sign In. And then you'll notice the prompts are very similar. Personally, I like to go through my Google Drive, but it is up to you the way you want to do it. So here's your Lumio. You might not have many of these presentations. It's just I've been doing a lot of them. What's nice with Lumio, when it's connected to the Google Drive, all of your presentations will end up being in your Drive and on this website, which is kind of cool. There are some trainings for you that you can click on to watch outside of this professional development, so that's nice. You can always explore resources by clicking here and searching for the content that you want. So being a math person, I'm going to search integers and I can find the lessons that are already made, and then you click on it. You can preview it and then you could save it to your library. I'm going to go to my home page again. This is my home page. So now I want to start actually creating a lesson. So the way to do it is click on this big green button, Add Activities. And you'll notice there's many activities that you can add, even like from the beginning to start, or add as components of your lesson. For this video, I'm just going to show you how to add the content, but again, you could find lesson content here, as well as other resources that you will learn more about in the next lessons. So in terms of the adding content, what's nice with Lumio is you can add PDFs, Smart Notebook files, PowerPoints, Google Slides, and you can add multiple files into one lesson. That's probably my favorite piece. So I'm going to click Import Resource. I can get my documents from the local storage, my library, so things I already saved to the library, or the Google Drive. First, I will add a Smart Notebook file that I have on my desktop. So I'm going to go to Local Storage. First, I'm going to find the presentation that I need, and here's my proposition Smart Notebook file, and I'm going to click Open. Now that the presentation is uploaded, you'll notice that there's a lot of different pages of resources that I have from the notebook file. I might not need all of them, so it is up to you which ones you want to pick. So let's say I just want the title, and then I want the video, some interactive activities, and some fun games that I have added. So as you notice, here now I have the slides that I picked from my notebook file. But I also want to add a couple of other resources that I have that's in my Google Drive. So I'm going to click on this plus button. When I click on it, notice I get that same menu that I did when I clicked on the green button in the beginning. And again, you could add other resources, which again, you'll learn about in another video. But for now, I want to click import resources because I want other files in here. This time I'm going to go to my Google Drive. And I have a proposition folder that I made. And I have a couple of files that I want to upload. I want to upload a Google Slide presentation. So I'm going to click select. And again, you'll notice I can pick and choose what I want for my resources. So I'm going to just add a couple of notes and get rid of the interactive things or, quiz type questions because I already made some games in my Smart Notebook. So here are my notes. I'm going to click add. And what this is going to do is it's going to add the files into my presentation. I also want to add one more resource from my Google Drive, and that is a PDF. So again, I'm going to go to my Google Drive, and in my folder that I created where I could put all my resources together, easier to find, here's my PDF that I want to add as well. Notice here again, this is my answer key. Obviously, I don't want that for my students, so I'm going to not select that one and add that document here as well. And you'll see it's at the bottom. So now that I'm done, there's a couple things that I can do. So let me just show you. What's nice is I could rearrange these files. So for instance, I want my students to practice this maybe before we do some games. So I can just drag things over. I could also click on the three dots to duplicate the page or delete it. I could also use these icons on the images. So for instance, I could add text over here or maybe add an image. Do note, depending on the kind of file that you've uploaded, there are some other things that you can do. So for instance, this was from a Google Slide. The file is locked. You can unlock it. And now what you'll notice is just an image that moves over. There's nothing that we can edit, unfortunately, as of right now. So it's a static image. I can click on here and I can do some other things like duplicate, copy, paste, delete, infinite clone, and lock. I'm just going to lock it up because I don't want my students to move it. Now notice if I go to something like here, this page, page 8, was from Smart Notebook. When I click on each item, each individual item is locked, which means that this is something that is created in Notebook, so you're able to individually move items. You could also unlock and clone items. When you're done, you could click finish editing, or you can work on some other resources that you want to modify and add. I'm just going to click finish editing.